Today we are learning different types of tests of aggregate. There are various types of tests of aggregate: compressive strength test, crushing value test, impact value test, water absorption test, abrasion test, sieve analysis test, particle shape test, Los Angeles test, soundness test, flakiness and elongation test, and specific gravity test. First test: compressive strength test. The compressive strength of aggregate is typically assessed using the aggregate crushing value test, a test that measures the material's resistance to crushing under a compressive load. This test is crucial in the construction industry to ensure that aggregate meet quality standard for concrete and asphalt mix. Test: crushing value test. The aggregate crushing value test measuring the resistance of coarse aggregate to crushing under a gradually applied compressive load. It's key indicator of aggregate strength, crucial for road and pavement construction. Says vertical lapse lower ACV value indicate stronger aggregate as they are less prone to crushing the degradation under traffic load. Is impact value test. The aggregate impact value test is quality control test for highway pavements that measure any aggregate's resistance to sudden shock or impact. It evaluates the aggregate's toughness or its ability to resist fracture under dynamic load. Next is water absorption test. The water absorption test determines how much water any aggregate sample can absorb. This test helps assess to process the internal structure of aggregate, which is crucial for the stability in concrete and other applications. Abrasion test. The abrasion test, specifically the Los Angeles abrasion test, is a method to assess the wear resistance of aggregate, which is crucial for its stability in pavement construction. It measures the percentage of aggregate particle that degrade due to abrasion and impact. Sieve analysis test. Sieve analysis, also known as a gradation test, is a method used to determine the particle size distribution of aggregate which are granular material like sand or gravel. It involves passing a sample of aggregate through a series of sieves with different mesh size and the determining the weight of material remain on each sieve. Next test is percentage shape test of aggregate exists to form of individual particle typical to determine flaking and elongation, which can affect concrete properties like workability and strength. This test uses look-like sieve and gauge to measure particle determination and calculation individual like the flaking index and elongation index. And last test is soundness test. The soundness test for aggregate determines the resistance to disintegration under weathering condition, particularly freeze cycle. This test simulates the effect of weathering by repeatedly exposing aggregate sample to saturated solution of sodium or magnesium sulfate and then drying them in an oven. The test is crucial for evaluating the long-term durability of aggregate used in construction. Last test is specific gravity test. The specific gravity test of aggregate determines the ratio of the aggregate's weight to the weight of any equal volume of water. This test is crucial in construction as it provides any indication of the aggregate density and can affect its suitability for use in concrete or other applications.